Hi, how are we doing, guys? Welcome to the post-match show for Sheffield United versus Arsenal in the Premier League. I have with me Kabir to
What's
review
up,
the match.
guys? What's up,
Yeah,
Vipul?
to review the match. Yeah, so without wasting any time, let's get into the player ratings.
Yeah,
And finally, we played a back four that day, Kabir,
yeah.
with David Luiz and Gabriel in the middle. Okay, so let's start. Leno in goal.
Leno was class. I think he was good. He commanded his box. That's what I said. I think when we discussed it a couple of times before, as I said, I think he just needed a run of games continuously, and he'll find his form back. You have to understand he's coming back from a big injury. In our case, one, but it was big for him to be out for a while. So it was great to have him back. I would give him an 8 on 10. I think he was quite fantastic.
Okay.
Yeah.
I would actually give him a 7. If you look back at the McGoldrick goal, the ball went below his hand a bit. So I thought he could have done better.
Vipul, you're a harsh man. You're a harsh man.
Of
Uh,
course, you got to do what you got to do, man. So,
oof.
and apart from that, he had a standard game, nothing else to do in the match. Apart from his distribution, he had nothing to do.
Yeah.
That's the thing with goalkeepers these days. If there was no playing out from the back, they are basically a spectator
Yeah.
at the back. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think we can set. What do you want to give him? 7 or 8? I suggest you look back at the goal.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
let's
You're a
okay.
extremely harsh man, but I'll
But
go. I'll go with you this time because it's always good that our players look to get higher for improvement.
course,
So I will.
I hope Leno watches this.
Oh, that would be great. Leno, all respect, all
Yeah,
love, bro.
yeah. So let's give Leno a 7.
Yeah.
Um, let's move on to the back four. Gabriel.
I think Gabriel had a good game. I think it was one of those games that showed that he's capable of playing in a back four. That's number one. I think that was extremely important. He was comfortable on the left side of that field. He was great with Tenny running up and down. I think for most part they were able to keep Sheffield United out. I know the team, the when we were on the ball, we hardly let them have it. But if you look at the possession stats, at the end it was almost sort of even and stuff like that. So you would look at it in terms of that. I think Gabriel did very well. So I would give him a 7 on 10.
Yeah, I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah.
Commanded the box really well. So alongside him, David Lewis in the back four.
Uh,
Almost clear. I kept a clean sheet. Uh, so
yeah, I think it was interesting. I mean, I still wouldn't put it down. I I mean I'm not gonna I will go with you on a certain extent that it may be that something that we could have avoided, but I mean a goal like that, McGoldrick's not going to score another one, so
yeah,
it's all right. But in terms of, I think what Arteta looked at was how much of pressure would Sheffield United put on us if we had a back four, and with the games that have gone by since the restart, Sheffield United haven't looked like Sheffield United. To
yeah,
be fair to Chris Wilder, so I think in that extent, Arteta made the decision saying that listen, they're not going to just switch it on against us. Well,
yeah.
most teams unfortunately do, but not against Mikel Arteta's Arsenal. So I think in that extent, it was one that he was like, listen, they won't be too pressured. So I think that's why he gave Luis his chance in a back four, and he played well. I would give him a 7 on 10.
All right, all right. Yeah, for me, I'll give him a 6.
Okay.
Um, yeah, only for the mistake which he made at the beginning, when he let the ball run away from him, and that actually was a punishable offense.
Again, wow, yeah, really harsh man. Vipul,
Whether it's
oof.
a red card or yellow card, I don't know,
Yeah.
but we got away with one that time. So yeah,
And
6
in
for
any,
me.
yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
So moving on to the left hand side, Chiarentini.
I think KT had a good game. I think I would definitely expect more of him going forward. I want more crosses in. I demand it. And if Katie is watching this, Katie, I demand it, my friend, because
Yeah,
one,
he
you
made a
you
lot of crosses.
he's
The only
yeah
thing is,
he's very capable of doing it. So I don't understand why. And he gets into reasonable positions. He's quick,
yeah,
but he seems to always check back. And it's something that if you notice in terms of, I think the one difference, and I feel sorry that we have to keep going back to the fact that Robertson and him are similar types of players. But if you go to Robertson, he's a quick gun if you look at it. In terms of, he gets into a certain position on the field, the only thing on his mind is hit it across the box.
yeah, and also don't stop until you
Yeah,
get to the byline.
yeah,
So
and so I think Turney has that. I think Katie's got definitely that, and I think Katie's got more of a footballing brain, to be very honest.
yeah,
But sometimes I feel, and this is something that Arteta said in terms of speed of play. If you listen to his post-match conference, he's like, at halftime, the one thing I told them was that the ball's moving too slow. And so in that situation, players like Katie and Bellerin who get that opportunity to run that 5-6 yards with the ball, just hit it across, man. Bang it across.
yeah.
Once, twice. The second time, the striker will get there.
So what do you give him?
I would give Katie a 7 because I think uh, he could have closed down McGoldrick. I'm going to be a little bit harsh like you. I think he could have closed down McGoldrick for the shot.
Yeah,
He was a bit upset when it went in, and I like that fact in him. But
yeah.
according to,
As you said, he's not going to score that goal many
again,
times in his career,
that's
so that's
so
fine.
I would
So
give KT a 7. Yeah.
yeah, even for me, it's a seven, standard
Yeah.
seven. Didn't have a great game, but didn't have a bad game either. So let's move on to the right, Hector Bellerin.
Hecky, yeah. Hecky from North London. Hecky pulled it off. I think Hecky got two good assists that game. I think the second half he woke up. First half he was poor. He was definitely poor. I think there's something that's creeped into his game where he sort of felt that he's lost his first 2 yards of speed. So he tends to try and grab onto to the player who's trying to play a 1-2. And I remember I brought this up for the Liverpool game as well. And
Yeah,
I very clearly saw it happen again
yeah,
in this game. And I was like, man, you don't need to do that, man. You're still pretty rapid. And be confident about it. The
yeah.
second
Not
half, he
only him,
showed that.
not only him, but I feel as well he has lost some pace due to that injury. Maybe he needs more time to get up to speed.
Yeah,
But yeah, so it is what it is. He's not up to the mark,
yeah.
and
But I would give Hecky an 8. I think he played well in the
yeah,
second half.
the second half played well.
Two
Uh,
assists.
yeah, but then there is this guy, Cedric Soares. He played in the midweek game
Yeah.
against Liverpool, and he was decent. I actually rate him ahead of Bellerin at this moment of time, but only time will tell. Clearly, Mikel Arteta favors Bellerin.
Hecky's
Let's
going
see.
to send you an Instagram message, man. Two assists, Vipul. What more you want from me? yeah,
Yeah, I'm not saying it was a bad performance,
yeah.
but he could have
No,
done better.
no, for
Yeah,
sure. But
yeah,
I'm happy with the way he was thinking in terms of the second half. For that 10 minutes, if you look at that piece of play where we scored two
yeah.
goals in a 3 minute difference. But that 10 minutes, the domination and the speed of play was just fantastic.
Yes,
And I
that is
think,
what we want basically. When we play at Emirates,
yeah,
the we need to play it. We need to
es-
move the ball faster.
especially against teams like this who, as Arteta said, low blocks. That means they're
Yeah,
deeper in their half.
back
They're very
five.
well, yeah, they're very well structured. They move according to the ball movement. You need to be able to move the ball quicker. And I think that 10 minutes for me
Mm,
was fantastic. And that's the only reason why all of these players are getting above and six because of that 10
all,
minutes. To be honest. Yeah.
all right. Now let's move into the midfield. Mohamed El Neni.
Huh? Walking like an Egyptian. The man was brilliant. I think he was good in terms of ball rotation. Again, I think Mo can definitely sort of, if he can increase the speed of his passing,
Yeah,
more 1-2s, more smaller movements also. Just do it. I mean, if you actually think that one or two really quick 3 to 4 yard passes is going to make a difference and it'll help the team move faster, do it.
yeah,
And I think he's capable. I mean, we've been very good, we're blessed to be very honest, to see a so-called second coming of El Neni. I think because when if I'm not wrong, I think he was a Wenger buy. He was an Arsene Wenger buy,
Yes.
and fate to the OG boss. I mean, he knew what quality players were, and clearly Arteta sees that, and I think Arteta played with him as well. So I think he understands that. Listen, El Neni can give us something. So I think El Neni was
So
good. He was a seven
yeah,
on ten for me.
yeah, same for me. But with El Neni, there is one thing. I was actually watching the game with my friend, and whenever he was about to receive the pass, na, I was like, okay, now just look what he's going to do. I was predicting he was going to take this touch and he was going to play backwards, not forward. So that's the thing with El Neni. If I am able to suss him out, eventually the players opponents are going to look at
It's an
that. Okay,
interesting one, Vipul. So the thing
yeah,
is, I actually think that it's down to Arteta's tactics. So in this game, he played Ceballos, right, as his partner.
yeah, yeah,
So if you realize, he put Ceballos in front of him. So the idea was El Neni just rotates the ball, Ceballos moves the ball.
yeah. I can
I mean,
understand
I
that,
mean
Kabir, but
that's my
sometimes,
understanding. Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
but sometimes when there is no pressure on you, you don't have to take a backward touch. You just open up your body and
I'm fully with you. I'm fully
yeah,
with you on that.
yeah.
It's just that I think, uh,
So what do you
okay,
give it?
okay, I give him a 7 on 10. But I'm just going to ask
Okay.
you this in
Ah,
terms of, I'm just trying to see whether we can see Arteta's mind. Would
okay.
you prefer El Neni hitting a 60-yard diagonal or David Luiz?
David Lewis, of course.
So maybe that's what it was. It's the fact that if you realize that he dropped in to either the right back or the left back position wherever that player
No,
moved.
it's that tactic is going to be proper when the opponent is pressing. If the opponent midfield player is pressing Elneny,
Yeah.
he can play the ball to David Luiz. If the opponent player is pressing, which means his whole team is pushing up to press, and at that time David Luiz can play a diagonal pass, and that will be more effective rather than now David Luiz playing a pass to a back five where
No, I'm
Aubameyang is
completely
making a
with
run.
you. I
Yeah,
think in terms of
Aubameyang is basically making a run, and he has the third central, the right-sided defender, and the right back as well on him. So that's not going to reach him. So that is
yeah,
what I'm saying. That's a
100%.
debate for
I
different
think
time.
I think he could have played more positively, but I also don't think it was down to him. That's what I'm
That's my
saying.
problem with Elneny. He's a good player, but then once he see there are always players who need to add something to their game. This is what
Yeah,
Elneny
yeah, for
had
sure,
to add
for
to his
sure.
game. So that is what it
More
is. So
more
even I
positive
give him a
thinking.
standard 7. Yeah.
Yeah.
So next we move on to Danny Ceballos.
Danny Ceballos, huh? I think for me, Ceballos was a little bit flat this game. To his standard, I would give him a 6. I think he could have definitely done a lot better in the first half. There was
Yeah.
zero pace in the game, like zero, uh, to be very honest. And I think the players knew it. I love his commitment. There's no doubt about it. There's a fantastic picture of him when he got substituted and then he comes off. Like he's got off the bench and he's shouting at the team. It's fantastic to see. So that's what I'm saying. I don't doubt his commitment. It's just that I think he had an off day on the field. I don't think he was as quick and as positive as he wanted to be. So I would
Yeah,
give him a 6 on 10.
definitely. I'll also give him a
Yeah.
6. But there is the intensity and everything with Sabah is always there. So that's fine. Let's move on to the what we played with the back four, right? So there was
Yeah.
Saka who was playing on the left hand side of the midfield. He was
Saka.
basically floating. I don't know what his position
Yeah,
was.
actually, I think he started floating in the second half. The first half, he was
Yeah.
pretty rigid. So I think it
Uh,
was, again, something tactically sort of discussed at halftime. But I think
yeah.
Saka, I would give him an 8 just because of, again, that 10 minutes of play. I think it was
Yeah.
fantastic. It was great. Overall, the game, he was a little bit flat. If you notice, this is something that I brought up with you. He's looking at the ref for
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
fouls.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And this game was a clear example of that. And I was like, dude, get this out of your game as soon as possible because
Yeah,
you're
he
betting.
was. There was this one time when he was fouled. I can't recollect which player it
Yeah,
was. He was like sitting on the ground for 2 minutes.
yeah,
Like, dude, get up and come
yeah,
on, let's get get on with it. Because
yeah.
we were the team who needed to push,
Fresh, yeah,
and
exactly.
he was slowing us down. So I don't know.
But I would
Maybe
give him
yeah,
an 8. I would give him
yeah,
an 8 for that
yeah.
second half
Same
10
for me.
minutes. It was
Yeah,
class.
was he scored the opener and he was involved in the second
And,
goal as well.
and Vipul, me and you are both sort of need to remember the boy just got selected for England. He's still 18 years old. I mean, but that being said, he's an Arsenal player. Like no,
Yeah,
he's got a professional contract. He's going to be valued against everyone else in that team
these
equally.
kind of things we
Yeah,
need to start talking about because then if you look at other clubs, they don't give excuses like that.
yeah, exactly.
Personally, for him, I am happy for him
Yeah,
since he had a great week. He got selected, he scored a goal and everything. But then to professionally, that's
there's
not
no
what I
excuse.
expect for
Exactly.
him.
Yeah,
Yeah, because
but that being said, he scored the goal. He got us the opener. He played fantastic in those 10 minutes. So
first.
it's a good 8 on 10.
Yeah. So moving on, let's move on to the front three. We
Yep.
had Aubameyang on the left hand side.
Oba had a quiet game. Let's be honest. He's had a couple of quiet games now post the contract signing. I think it's
Yeah,
just
that happens. That happens.
yeah. I think he just needs to sort of shake it up, and I think
Yeah.
the international
I
break
with
has come
yeah
at the right
with
time.
Oba, I think a goal will just set him off for the
Yeah,
season.
he'll be
So
back again, so
yeah,
there's
he'll be
no
back.
problem.
Yeah.
So I think the international break came at the right time. I think the signings also have come as a boost to him. Listen, less pressure on you. The team can divide a lot more. Don't worry about it. That sort of situation. And I think the best part is Lacazette hasn't moved. His best friend in the team is not going anywhere.
So
Oba's,
yeah,
the rest of the season, let's listen to some music, let's do some dancing, let's get some goals.
yeah,
But for me, the rating for this game, I think, is 6.
yeah.
Oba
Six.
wasn't
I
great,
have
yeah,
to be honest with everyone. So and also you, Oba,
yeah.
you you didn't play that great. Yeah, 6 for me. Let's move on to the right hand side. Who was it? Willian? Yeah, Willian.
Yeah, yeah. Again, for me, I think 2 billions high standard per game. Um, uh, just sort of wasn't able to create enough till again that 10 minutes, that crucial 10 minutes. I keep coming back to that because he and Saka floated between left wide and number 10.
Yeah, that
And
was one example in which Willian can play as a number 10.
yeah, and that's
And
something that we
yeah,
were discussing with each other.
yeah,
So I think again for that 10 minutes, I would give him 7. Otherwise, for the rest of the game, he was probably 6.
yeah,
Yeah, so
7 for me as well. Yeah,
7 would
yeah.
be, yeah, yeah.
Let's move on to Eddie and Ketia.
Eddie, young man Eddie. Again, I think he was sharp in the beginning. He chased. He did everything that we want him to do, but I don't think he got enough service. He did get an opportunity. Oba put in a fantastic ball in
Yeah,
early,
yeah.
which I think for Eddie it just came too early in the game, if you
No,
know what
but
I mean.
for
Uh,
me, he should have taken a touch and just
Yeah, I think there were a couple of
smacked it.
instances where I think he could have just hit and he took a touch and sort of. I think it also comes down to the fact that listen, uh, I have in his head. He's like, if you're starting a game, you're always like, I have 90 minutes. When you come on as a sub, you have 10 minutes. I have 7 minutes. I have 8 minutes. There's a different mindset when you start a game. So I think that sort of, I wouldn't say that relaxed him more, but I think that sort of, I don't know, if made him sort of say that, listen, I'm allowed 1 or 2 mistakes, and that's okay. Well, he is if he can score 3 in a game or 2 in a game, but in a game where he doesn't do too much, he's not.
Yeah.
So it's for me, he was a 6 on 10. He if he really wants to push Lacazette for that starting position, he's got to do way better than this.
For me as well, it's 6. Yeah.
Yeah,
Let's quickly move on to the subs. There was who was it? Oh, okay. Nicola Pepe came in for
Eddie and Ketia.
Eddie Nketiah and scored the winner basically. Then we had Sabas going off and Zaka coming in place of
Yeah,
him, and we had Maitland-Niles in place of Saka.
yeah,
So standard 6 for him. I would actually give 7 for Nicola Pepe since he scored the winner.
yeah, for sure.
And
I think
the
I
tempo of the game, yeah, the tempo of the game changed when he came on,
yeah,
and
and the formation changed. Like I mean, you had
yeah,
you had
formation change.
you had Oba through the center. Now that's something that's interesting because if you realize in that first goal, though I rated Oba only 6, this is something that you brought up. The pass before the assist is
Yeah,
important, and Oba made that pass before the assist. It was extremely, extremely important. I think Oba through the center gives us something very different. Yes, of course. I think we don't think he's a good hold-up man. I think Oba
Yeah,
will be the
but
first one to say it.
I
It's
think
it's just a different
since
variety of play. Yeah,
yeah, since Sheffield United was chasing the game, they were pressing high. So in that case, Oba is the ideal candidate. But once a team is has decided to uh, place the banks of five and threes to defend, so at that time I would actually go ahead with Lacazette in the middle. So
no,
he's
I
better
actually,
at
I,
one of
I actually think we that's what we did. In fact, they were block of five, and it was 0-all. Eddie and Nketiah came on. Pepe came. Eddie came off. Pepe came on, and it happened because we were able to stretch that back line a little bit more because they were
yeah,
worried about Oba space. See, with
yeah.
Nketiah, the physicality takes him out of the question. Here, Oba's got the physicality and he's got the speed. So I think that sort of contributed to that. So again, I think
All right.
I'm with you. I think Pepe deserves a seven. I think this is what he needs to do more. Shoot, like man,
But
shoot.
then, yeah, I am disappointed in a sense that he's not fit, so he needs to build his fitness. This break has actually come at the right time. I'm not sure whether he's going with Ivory Coast
Ivory
or
Coast,
not.
yeah, we need to check. I think
Yeah,
he is.
so yeah, yeah. But if he's not done, this will be a great time for him to get up back up to speed.
Yeah,
And the second thing is once he's been selected in the starting 11, he needs to make those consistent runs and try to. He always tries to dribble the players, but then
yeah,
after that, what? So
yeah,
that is what I want the end product, which was great on that day. And yeah, he gets a seven.
yeah,
So yeah, I think we have covered the subs. Now let's move on to the manager. I think for me personally, as a team, we made a meal of the match
yeah,
and left it late. But partially in the first half, it depends what the manager had the talk in the dressing
yeah.
room.
Different
And
system they played for at the back.
yeah.
It was
So
slightly
what do you
different.
give Arteta for the match?
I think because of the change, I think that this smart change that he made, he realized something wasn't working. He was able to use Pepe out, float the number 10, that sort of situation. I would give him 8 on 10.
Yeah, for me also an eight. Um, yeah, the second half he clearly got into their heads, and
Yeah.
we came out firing. So that is what
Influence the
we need.
game, yeah, completely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with Arsenal, you have this 5 to 10 minutes of spells, and you get 3-2, not 3-2, but a couple of goals, and that is what we usually do. If just imagine if we can start the games at that tempo, and we could
Yeah.
score a couple of quick fire goals and get ahead in the game, so that would really help us in managing the game better
Yeah.
in the second half or in the time which is left.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is what it is. Listen, thank you, Kabir, for
Anytime, man.
coming on to the
Anytime.
Mismatch
Yeah.
show again. We have an international break and we'll come up with a couple of shows covering all the Arsenal stars on international duty. And looking forward to see Saka play for England. And I think Maitland Dance is not selected
Yeah.
this time.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
no
he,
worries.
I think he's
He
back.
will get next time. And yeah, again, thanks for coming on to the show. Guys, if you are new around here, just hit the subscribe button as always. And for more content, for more football content, stay tuned to our channel. And see you next time, guys. Bye.
Cheers up the Arsenal.